Hello, everybody out there. Merry Christmas. I am here to do my Christmas collection, which I wanted to do last year, and I just kind of ran out of time, so I'm going to do it this year. I got a lot of shit to go through, so bear with me. Hopefully, this video will not be too long. We will start with the DVDs. First one up is one that I had in the Smurfs Blu-ray that I had bought, but I sold it because I repurchased it for the 3D one. And the 3D one did not have this disc, so I just bought it off of Amazon. Now you can get it at Walmart for $5, so I bought this in the middle of the summer, but whatever. The Smurfs A Christmas Carol. This was just recently produced for the release of the first movie. It's okay. What I kind of like and don't like is that it jumps from a 3D world back to a 2D animation, and I think that's kind of neat, but at the same time, I just look at it as it being cheap because they didn't want to pay to make the 3D one, so yeah, that's all I really have to say about that. It's an okay one. I haven't watched it since I got it, so I don't. It's been 2 years. I don't really remember much from it. Next one up is also Smurfs. This is the Smurfs Holiday Celebration. And this has two specials. Yeah. It's got 'Tis the Season to Be Smurfy and the Smurfs Christmas Special, which is a special I grew up watching when I was a kid, so I'm kind of glad that they released this. So it's neat to have these on a DVD instead of, that old crappy VHS that I had all those many, many years ago. Next up, we have Saturday Night Live Christmas, which is a really cool set that has a bunch of different Christmas specials. I think it's all from the 90s and 80s and 70s. I think this was done before like Will Ferrell and all them. So I don't think there's anything on there from them. But this is a really cool set. It's got it's got the lost ending for It's a Wonderful Life, which is a really funny skit if you haven't seen it already, and a bunch of other stuff too. So it's a cool set. I got it real cheap one year. Next one up is a Rankin and Bass movie. This is Rudolph and Frosty's Christmas in July. I tend to not watch this at Christmas just because it's technically takes place in July, so I don't really know if it's a Christmas movie. So I tend to not watch it very often. I think this is also the only Rankin and Bass movie where Frosty is not an like traditional 2D animated character. He's like an actual like claymation character. I think. I could be wrong, but I think it is. So that's neat. A neat one to have. Next one up, I have never even watched this. I used to watch it all the time as a kid, but I have not watched this since I was a kid. My brother bought it for me for like $1 or $2. It's the Nutcracker Prince. Kiefer Sutherland, Peter O'Toole, and Phyllis Diller do voices in this. I can't really talk too much about it because I haven't watched it in years, like decades. So I'd have to rewatch it to say anything about it. Next one up is The Nutcracker. This is the one with Macaulay Culkin. It's just the ballet. My mom bought this for me when I was a kid. Not this DVD, but the VHS when I was a kid. And I mean, it is what it is. It's just a ballet. There's nothing more to it. It's a neat movie. I think it was kind of a cop-out to put Macaulay Culkin in it just because he was Macaulay Culkin. Like, he was really popular at the time that this came out, so they just put him in it so they could get more people to go see it. I watched it when I bought it a couple years ago, but I haven't seen it in a couple years, so. Next one up is a Muppets Christmas Letters to Santa. This is the extended edition. I have not watched this. I haven't ever seen this. I bought it 2 years ago, and I have not watched it, so I can't really comment on if it's good or not. Hopefully we'll watch it this year. I like the Muppets, though, and I like their Christmas special. So, speaking of Muppets, here's another one I watched a little bit of. I didn't really watch much of, so I can't really say much about it. It's a Very Merry Muppet Christmas movie. Again, I bought it 2 years ago. I watched a little bit of it. Don't really remember what the plot of the movie is. It might be like It's a Wonderful Life. I don't know. I feel stupid doing these videos when I have so many movies that I haven't watched. Next one up I have watched. This is Mr. Magoo's Christmas Carol. I bought this a couple years ago. I've only watched it once, but it's a neat little movie. If you like Mr. Magoo, I guess you'll like this. It's a musical, and I wasn't expecting that because I'd never seen it before I bought it. This is the original release. It's been re-released since, also on Blu-ray. I have not bought it. I haven't had the desire to buy it because it was okay. I didn't think it was great. It was okay. So I just don't see the point of buying it. So that's that. Next one up is Mickey's Once Upon a Christmas. First saw this when I was about 15 on VHS. I have it on VHS somewhere in my basement. Recently repurchased it on DVD. It's a cool Christmas special to watch. If I remember correctly, it's 3 separate stories. One of them with Mickey, Minnie, one of them with Huey, Dewey, and Louie, and then one of them with Goofy and his son, I believe. And they're really neat specials. I haven't watched this probably in 2 or 3 years. Probably 3 years, and or 4 maybe. I don't know. It's been a long time, but I hope to watch this again this year. It's a really neat movie. I have not seen Mickey's Twice Upon a Christmas. I was kind of turned off with the fact that it was that 3D animation, so I kind of haven't seen it, but maybe somewhere down the road I will see it. Next one up is a set called Magical Christmas Collection, and I'll tell you why I bought this. It's got 4 different movies on it, low-budget garbage movies. The Bears Who Saved Christmas, Nick and Noel, Dot and Spot, and A Christmas Carol. The reason I bought this was for Nick and Noel, this movie right here, which was released on VHS, in the 90s. I don't know if it was shown on TV. I have a VHS of it somewhere, and that was the only time I had ever seen it was on VHS. No one had ever... Anytime I brought it up to anybody, they hadn't heard of it. So, when I saw this at Walmart, I was like, I gotta get this for the Nick and Noel movie, and I watched it last year, and I bought it 2 years ago, and I didn't watch it that year, and then when I went to watch it last year, it wasn't even open. I hadn't even opened it until I had it sealed for the entire year. So I watched it, and I don't know, it's definitely not a movie that I seem to really give a shit about. And I think I've watched this too, because I remember Christopher and Holly. That's in the back. It says it's called Christopher and Holly, the Bears Who Saved Christmas. And I remember that design, but I don't remember the movie. I'd have to rewatch it, which I haven't, and I haven't watched the other movies on here either. But they're not really movies. They're just like 20-minute specials because they were TV specials. So, okay, next one up. I don't know if it's necessarily a Christmas movie. I don't know if it actually takes place at Christmas time or just in the winter. But this is Jack Frost. It's another Rankin and Bass movie. So I watched it once a while ago, and I don't really remember too much about it other than it's the origin story of Jack Frost. And it's another claymation animated movie, but I really don't remember if it takes place at Christmas or just in the winter. So that actually may not be a Christmas movie. Next up is a movie I saw in the theater when it first came out. I try to watch it every year because I really like this movie. It's a funny movie. It's kind of a goofy movie, but it's fun. This is I'll Be Home for Christmas with Jonathan Taylor Thomas from Home Improvement. And it's just a fun little Christmas movie to watch. I believe Jessica Biel's in it. And yeah, it's just a fun, neat little movie. What's really interesting about this is it has French subtitles. And for whatever reason, when the movie starts playing, no matter what device I start playing it on, the French subtitles come up right away. And no, I'm sorry, that's not it. It has the title in French, I believe. I think that's what it is. It's either in French or the title comes up and it says in parentheses what it is in French, which I've never seen happen on an American. I mean, it's a region 1, so I don't understand why that would happen, but I guess I was gonna say Canada. I guess Canada, that's region 1, so moving on. The next one up is a movie or a special I'd never even heard of until, I don't know, probably 10 years ago. No, less than that, when I worked at Blockbuster. And I've watched, and I watch it once in a while. It's not one of my favorite specials, but it's I Want a Dog for Christmas, Charlie Brown. It's about I don't remember what the kid's name. It's Linus and Lucy's baby brother. Oh, Rerun. Okay, that's the kid's name is Rerun, and he wants a dog for Christmas, and he like falls in love with Snoopy and shit, and it's okay. I really don't care one way or another about it. This also has Charlie Brown's Christmas Tales, and I don't really remember that, but I remember not liking it. To me, Charlie Brown comes down to Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas, done. Next set is something I bought, and I kind of wish I hadn't, but I only paid $3 for it. Never watched any of the movies in here, but this is called AMC Movies Holiday Classics. It's got 6 movies: A Christmas Without Snow, The Nutcracker, Beyond Tomorrow, Scrooge, A Christmas Carol, Santa Claus, and Santa Claus Conquers the Martians. I really bought it for Santa Claus Conquers the Martians because that movie is so damn goofy, and I've never seen it without the Mystery Science Theater track on it. So, but one of these days I'll have to actually watch these movies. I've seen part of Santa Claus. Again, that was through Mystery Science Theater, so I don't really remember too much about it. But I find it interesting that A Christmas Without Snow and The Nutcracker are from like the last 30 years. So that's kind of interesting. All right, next one up is a movie that's this version I have is out of print. You can buy it still, but this version is out of print. This is the He-Man She-Ra Christmas special, which is yet another great special from my childhood. It was on that tape that was what was it? That had the Smurfs Christmas on it. Remember watching that, watching this. It was my mom recorded it years and years ago when it was first on, and when this came out on DVD, I had to buy it. And this is such a cool little set to have. It's not like a DVD case; it's a digibook. It's got this and that, and it folds out. It's a really, really, really nice set. So I'm really glad I have this, and it has special features. Next up is the Garfield Holiday Celebrations, and this has Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas. Again, Garfield Christmas, that was on that tape that had He-Man and Smurfs, and I watch it every year. It's like a tradition. I have to. So this is a nice set too. Alright, moving on, we have Frosty's Winter Wonderland. This is again, another movie I'm not 100% sure if it's even a Christmas movie. But I really don't... It's been a long time, so I don't really remember much about it. But this also has 'Twas the Night Before Christmas, which is kind of a goofy little special, but it's nice to have. Yeah, I believe this is the official sequel to Frosty the Snowman. Next one up, we have Flintstones Christmas Carol, which is a really great adaptation of the story. And it's a neat, like, during the mid-90s, they brought the Flintstones back and all these different TV movies and stuff, and this was one of them, and this was a really cool one. Didn't really fit in with the continuity of the specials that they were doing, because they did the 2 movies where Pebbles and Bam Bam get married and they have kids, and then they had this. And all of a sudden, Pebbles and Bam Bam are babies again. So it makes no sense. But it's still a cool special to watch. Next up we have is Ernest Saves Christmas, a great Christmas movie. I haven't watched it in many years, but I remember it very well. Ernest meets Santa Claus and has to help him find his replacement. And it's a cool set. It's a cool movie. I keep saying cool set. It's a cool movie to watch. Next up I have is Adam Sandler's 8 Crazy Nights. This movie gets a lot of crap for being bad. And it is bad, but it's bad in a good way. The thing I didn't like about it is that it's very juvenile. Like, Adam Sandler's movies, they can be fun. They're funny. I love Adam Sandler. He's one of my favorite actors, but this movie was very juvenile. A lot of bathroom humor in this movie, and I don't really think that you necessarily find a lot of that in his movies, but this one was kind of goofy, and but it's still a fun movie to watch. I haven't watched it in a long time, but I do like it. It's got some really cool songs on it too. Next one up we have is Deke Animated Christmas Blast, and this has a bunch of different TV episodes or Christmas specials or whatnot from Deke. The reason I bought it was mainly for the Bump in the Night. It's called 'Twas the Night Before Bumpy. I don't know if anyone really remembers that show, but this character right here, it was a claymation show, about monsters under the bed and stuff like that. And it was a cool, neat little show, so I bought it for that. It's also got Sonic Christmas Blast, and a bunch of other stuff I've never watched. But yeah, it's nothing traditional, but it's still a fun set to have, just because it's got so many different specials. I like companies that release a lot of Christmas specials in one set. Next one up we have is Deck the Halls. I actually got this when the DVD first came out on Black Friday for like $3. It's an okay movie. Danny DeVito and Matthew Broderick fighting over, who can have the best Christmas display. It's an okay movie, but it's worth watching, I guess. If you've never seen it, it's worth watching. Alright, next up we have is Christmas with the Kranks. Again, another okay movie with Tim Allen, Jamie Lee Curtis, Dan Aykroyd, about how they don't want to celebrate Christmas and their neighbors, for some reason, get pissed off about that. I don't know why, but it was actually based on a John Grisham book, John Grisham, called Surviving Christmas. It was originally called Surviving Christmas. I don't know why they changed it to Christmas with the Kranks. Like, why couldn't they just call it Surviving Christmas? But whatever. Oh no, I'm sorry, Skipping Christmas. Excuse me, Skipping Christmas. So yeah, I don't know why they just didn't continue to call it Skipping Christmas, because that's what they're doing. Next up we have is The Christmas Toy, which is a really cool special from Jim Henson from the mid-'80s. This is basically what Toy Story was based on, sort of, about toys that come to life when nobody's around, and they can't be, alive when people are around. In this one, though, if they're caught alive when people see them, they die. Like, they cease to exist, I guess. But this is a cool special about this little tiger guy. I can't remember his name, but Rugby the tiger. He was like the big toy last year, and he thinks that every year now he's gonna be the special toy and whatnot. So he doesn't understand. And the entire special is just about him getting downstairs and being under the tree and stuff like that. It's really cool. It's a cool movie. Next one up is the George C. Scott A Christmas Carol, which I just recently bought last year and watched. I remember it being okay and not liking it too much, but I'm going to give it another shot this year and see if it's worth watching again. I love Christmas Carol. If you know me, Christmas Carol is like one of my very, very, very favorite movies, or stories. It's the story itself, I love it. So I love Christmas Carol. I'm actually going to try, every year I try to go see it, the play, but never been able to, so hopefully I will be this year. Next one up is also another Christmas Carol movie. It's Bah Humduck, A Looney Tunes Christmas. This is about Daffy Duck being like a Christmas miser and running a huge mall and being a dick and stuff, and then going through the Christmas Carol stuff. Every time I watch this, I fall asleep, and it's not because it's a bad movie, it's just because I fall asleep. So, yeah, I'm going to try to watch it again this year and not fall asleep. And the last of the DVDs we have here is All I Want for Christmas. This is a movie I saw when I was a little kid, because this came out when I was about 7, and my mom took me and my brother to see it. I believe the story is about Thora Birch's character just wanting, like, her parents together or something. It's been such a long time since I watched this, but I seem to remember, it's rated G, but I seem to remember this being much more of an adult movie, like more surrounding the adults than it does the kids. But it's been a very long time since I've seen this, so I really couldn't even comment on how Kevin Nealon's in this. And Leslie Nielsen. Huh. Long time. Alright, that's it. I'm actually going to do a part 2 of this video because I don't have time to go through the Blu-rays. I got a large stack of Blu-rays, so I'm going to do a part 2. So thank you guys for watching. Please subscribe. Part 2 will be up soon. Thank you very much.